on Saturday. Happy Saturday. 2 days of the draft are down. The first three rounds are set in the NFL draft. We'll touch on that to start here. But we have plays in NBA playoffs, MLB playoffs, PGA, UFL. So a little bit of everything. And if you guys have games you want to talk about, let us know. But yeah, pretty much here just to chat. I haven't honestly looked at the board really yet. I have one MLB play that I'll get into, but besides that, I'm kind of just scrolling through the board and yeah, talking through bets as they come. But Ethan, happy to have you here. How are you doing this Saturday? Yeah, let's get into the draft quickly.
Yeah, I'm doing well. First time going live on Saturday after college basketball season ended. So happy to be back live on Saturday morning. Yeah, a lot going on right now. I mean, so many sports, like you said, NHL and NBA playoffs, MLB in full swing. Obviously, the NFL draft is huge for us. Um, Golf, NASCAR, UFL, soccer leagues going crazy. I can't even keep track of how many soccer leagues are out there, but yeah, just a lot of sports going on right now. We talk about it every time that we get on here. We're coming up on a sad time in sports where we don't have much going on. So just trying to utilize all the minutes that we can. Um, but yeah, draft so far, I've liked it. Two corners to Detroit. I was just telling you a little bit before we went live, but a guy I follow on Instagram seems like he knows what he's talking about when it comes to the draft. He had a big board of his top 150 guys, broke down by each position. He actually had Rakestraw as his number one cornerback in the entire draft, and then he had Terrion Arnold second. So I think he knows what he's talking about. I hope he's correct on that, but yeah, I mean, I don't think you can go wrong taking two corners, especially two guys that people see that much potential in. If one becomes a Jeff Okuda, you have a good shot of the other one panning out. So I really like both picks. Think it was great. I wish they had a few more mid-round, third, fourth round picks, but not picking again till the fifth.
Yeah, I was skeptical. I thought Detroit was gonna. Well, actually, I wanted them to trade back, honestly, in the first round. And I thought they would, but they said, I think Dan Campbell came out like the day before and said, shoot, oh yeah, they're gonna trade back if their guy's not there, and obviously their guy was Arnold, and they moved up a couple spots to snag him before Green Bay. They knew Green Bay wanted a corner, so Arnold was definitely their guy all along in that first round. So I'm happy they got their guy. Yeah, and then again, we're weak at the corner position. That was our kryptonite last year, so now we got two, and again, yeah, if one doesn't pan out, the other one probably will. Just it's how the odds work. So yeah, I was happy with that. I'm happy we didn't get Cooper Dijon or whatever his name is, Dejean. Happy we did not get him. Philly snagged it. We have the same draft as Philly. Philly has two corners as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all in all, it was a pretty hectic first round. I actually had under 4.5 quarterbacks, and there were six selected in the top 12. So, and Rattler has not yet been selected. So it just shows that there was a big drop off on quarterback, and teams knew that and were freaking out to get quarterbacks. So, yeah, I think our first defensive guy was Latu at like 16,
Yeah,
something like
15, I
that.
think.
15. That's unheard of. Like that never happens. So, um, yeah, luckily for the Lions, and obviously we're both Lions fans. Lucky for us, defenders dropped, and the number one corner was all the last couple of weeks was Mitchell, I think, the Toledo guy, and I was a little skeptical of him. Super fast, but again, you're playing MAC schools. It's different between playing MAC schools and playing the SEC. So I'm happy we got our Bama boy. But yeah, I'm interested to see how the draft goes. Six Michigan guys drafted yesterday. Obviously, JJ drafted first. So good start for the Wolverines. I know they are on the border of breaking the draft record. I don't know if they will this year, but seven total Wolverines. I'm happy with that. Ben's in the comments. Hail Mary play for the day. Tim Means by sub 1,600. I'm all for the Hail Marys. I went all out on the NFL draft and lost every single one. Um, you might call me an idiot, but again, they were long shots. So I'm all for a little sprinkle. So yeah, we do have MMA tonight. I believe there was a Tapping Vegas video out. I've been actually working the last 2 days, so I haven't really been on my computer. But if you do want some UFC MMA plays, make sure you do check out our YouTube. I know Ben also has a bunch of plays over on our Twitter as well, and probably on bettergreen.com. So if you do want MMA, because again, we're getting into that weird time in sports where there's not a whole lot going on. Coming up, there's a lot going on today, but we'll start doing some more of these exotic sports like MMA. We have our Kentucky Derby coming up. So stay tuned for that as well. But yeah, all in all, I'm excited for the rest of the draft. But again, probably won't watch rounds 4 through 7 today. I'll probably just keep track on my phone. But yeah, do you want to get into a couple plays, or do you have anything else before the draft before we get into today's slate?
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I'll say, I know Ben did have a premium article come out this morning with some more UFC plays, so be sure to check that out. And if you're not a premium subscriber already, consider it's just $1 a month, so you're really not much of an investment there. And Ben's been killing those article plays. I know you and I have been a little bit light on the premium content.
Yep.
We need to get back into that, but we give out all of our plays for free on Twitter, so be sure to follow us over there. We get all of our plays. Yeah, last thing I'll touch on in the draft. Well, I guess two things. One, we were just talking pre-show about Keon Coleman to the Bills. I really like that pick for Buffalo. Think that's just, I think he's a stud. I mean, I kind of had an early look at him when he played for Michigan State, and then he obviously kind of exploded onto the scene at Florida State last year. But yeah, I think that's a nice weapon for Josh Allen. Hopefully, not quite as much of a head case as Stephon Diggs was.
Yeah.
So really like that pick. And then, secondly, really the only things you can bet now in the NFL draft are Spencer Rattler, the team who picks him, and Mr. Irrelevant position.
Yeah. Do you have a Mr. Irrelevant bet?
You know,
I do have one. That's my last draft pick, plus 650.
receiver.
Linebacker.
Oh, I was looking at receiver plus 650, but I mean they've been so picked through already that it probably won't be.
There's still a shit. I mean, obviously there's 3 rounds today, but a lot of
Yeah.
linebackers left.
I do have I'm probably going to sprinkle on Spencer Rattler. The two teams I like, Seattle and LA Rams. My thought process here, Stafford is obviously aging for the Rams. They took their shot on Stetson Bennett last year, and he's out of football, to my knowledge. I don't know if he's ever coming back.
Yeah.
I think that was a failed pick, a failed attempt at getting somebody. They do have Jimmy Garoppolo, but I mean, he's obviously younger than Stafford, but he's not their long-term guy, I don't think. So I think they're going to want to try to get another young guy to kind of groom for a year under Stafford, maybe groom under a year or two from Garoppolo. So I think they can take a shot on Rattler. I think it's a pretty safe pick for them at this point. High ceiling pick. And then for Seattle, Geno Smith is in a contract year. I highly doubt they re-sign him next year unless he has just an incredible season this year. But he's getting up way up there in age. And their backup, I just had this pulled up. Oh, let me go back to it here.
The lock still?
Sam Howell.
Oh.
But other than that, they don't have any quarterbacks on the roster. It's just Geno and Sam Howell. So again, I think they're a decent option to get a young guy to groom for a year under Geno, maybe a year under Sam Howell, and then give him the reins. So you can get, I think, the Seahawks at plus 700 on DraftKings, the Rams plus 650 on FanDuel. I think they're both worth a half unit. Just invest 1 unit total. If you hit, cool, you win a couple of units. If not, it's just a unit. But I think there's some value in those two picks.
Yeah, I like that. Last thing for the draft before we move on, Ben, if you're still on, question about Chiefs. I know I like Xavier Worthy. Are they only picking him because he's the fastest guy ever in the combine? They want a Tyreek-esque player. My only concern is we just lost a sub, I think. If you're only I don't know, I'm just concerned that they're just trying to get another Tyreek Hill. And I'm just nervous that like if you're trying to replace a guy, you'll never be able to replace Tyreek. And if you're only going for, I don't know, I'm just a little nervous that they're just trying to find a Tyreek guy. I don't think Xavier Worthy is. He's fast as shit. He's 160 pounds, but a little worried about that. I know he has a lot of potential. I like the thought process. And then also last thing, what are the Falcons doing? I don't get that at all. Does anyone understand that? I was maybe like a trade piece, but they never traded him. Like Penix is 24 years old. They just signed Kirk Cousins to 180 million. Yes, there's potentially injury problems with Kirk, but that's their own fault. There's injury problems with Kirk, and they signed him to 180 million dollars for 4 years. if Penix is going to sit on the bench, I understand having a backup, but you want a backup that's maybe 21 years old, like JJ. You don't want a 24, almost 25-year-old backup. By the time he's going to get action in 2 to 3 years, he's going to be older than half the quarterbacks, three-quarters of the quarterbacks in the league. I don't get that dumbass move by the Falcons. I don't understand that. Yeah, that's my last 2 cents about the draft.
Yeah, I don't hate the pick. I think, combined with the signing of Cousins, obviously it's a bad move. Um, but this is also the team that drafted a running back top 10 the year prior. So, I mean,
Yeah.
did we expect anything better out of the Falcons this year?
And the problem is they
Um,
have such a gettable division too, though.
I know.
Like, it's so gettable. Just draft a freaking lineman, or like you can't go wrong with a lineman. You can never go wrong with the top draft line. Like, it's such a gettable division to just have a backup. Like, just get
And
one player to help you win 2 games. That's all you need.
yeah, I just saw today that they tried like vigorously to move back into the first round to get Latu. And I'm like, why didn't you just take him at 8?
Yeah.
He was right there. You probably still could have got
You
Penix. You could have probably moved
right,
into like 25th
right.
and got Penix. Yeah, interesting. One more thing I'll say. I think the team that has won the draft for me so far is the Chargers.
Lineman,
Lad McConkey.
Junior Colson.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, Herbert is obviously, I think he was held back by Brandon Staley. I think Jim Harbaugh is a great fit there. Yeah, I think McConkey's a stud. I think Quentin Johnston will probably have a better year now
You
that he's
can't
more
do
of a
worse.
focal point. You can't do worse. You can't do worse. Yeah, I don't know. I was down on the Chargers last year. I think they're definitely the second team in that division.
Did you see Harbaugh's quote, our interview? It's like, I know that a lot of people are asking, like, we need well, what was the word? He need like star power or star players or whatever because they need a wide receiver or something. And then he's like, I consider linemen like star player or whatever. I forget the word, but it's a funny
Yeah.
quote. I think Big Cat retweeted and said like football guy or something. But yeah, NFL draft. We could talk NFL all day. You obviously know where our bias is in the sports world. But let's get into today's slate. Again, I have not looked at a whole lot. I'm starting to look at let's start in the NBA because it looks like our first. Yeah, NBA. We have a game at 1 p.m. Eastern time coming up here. Cavs Magic. So we have 4 games today. NBA. Again, I just starting to look right now, so you can kind of pick my brain while we talk about this. But you cool with the NBA starting here?
Yep, that works for
I
me.
know MLB is a little later, which is odd on a Saturday, but yeah, NBA 4 games. Cavs at the Magic in Game 4. Thunder at the Pelicans. Game 3. Heat hosting the Celtics. Game 3. Nuggets Lakers. Game 4. Let's just start with that Cavs Magic. Kind of a crazy Game 3. Series is at 2-1 in favor of Cavs. Magic blew out the Cavs Game 3. Absolutely blew them out at home. 121-83. They beat them by 38 points. Line is set at 2.5 for Orlando. Over under is setting at 201. My initial lean right now is the under again. That was a kind of an anomaly game 3. Games 1 and 2 didn't break the 190s. So I like the under in that, and I think I'm going to be back on the Cavs, but I don't love that as much as I love the under and the total in that game. Do you have any leans in that Cavs Magic early NBA game?
Yeah, so I have leans on all the NBA games on a side.
Okay.
Really quick, I did just lock in the half unit on Seahawks and the half unit on the Rams to
Okay.
draft Spencer.
I like that.
Yeah, I lean and I probably will end up betting it the Cavs. I think the recency bias is keeping this line low, and I'm seeing the Cavs or the Magic are highly public, like 97%. And that line has not moved. Here's my fear. I see the Cavs money line is like over 80% public. So to me, that's just saying bettors are either betting the Magic minus 2.5 or just the Cavs on the money line. They're not taking the points, which doesn't make much sense. I feel like the casual bettor would just lay the juice with the Magic money line. But yeah, I think the Cavs are ultimately the better team. Like you said, 38-point blowout win for the Magic in their last game at home. I think the Cavs shored up here. I think they head back to Cleveland with a 3-1 series lead. Just think they're the better team, more experienced here. Um, and yeah, I'm always going to fade the public. So when it's 97%, the line hasn't budged. Give me the Cavs.
Yeah, I love that. I'm actually gonna lock in both. I'll take the +2, why not? And then or +2.5, whatever it's at. Taking the under as well. Um, it's gonna be a defensive game. Let's just be honest. That one game still, even though it was a 38-point win, barely went over. I had the under in that, lost by 1.5 points, unfortunately. Um, Next up, I have nothing on this game. Thunder Pelicans. I'm still waiting for the Pelicans to win a game here. I kind of thought OKC was going to get upset. OKC won game one and game two, blew out the Pelicans in game two, winning by 32 points. So another big blowout. Zion's still out for the Pelicans. I don't have a lean. You said you do. What do you got?
Yeah, I like the Pelicans quite a bit. They're at home. They're down 0-2. In our NBA bracket video, we both had the Thunder getting upset in the first round. Unfortunately, we had them losing. Well, I had them losing to the Kings. I think you maybe had the Lakers, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly. But we both weren't too high on the Thunder. I'm still not. I think they get past the Pelicans, but I don't think it's going to be a sweep. I think the Pels are going to get a game here. Magic are the public team. I'm seeing 84%. The line's only moved a half point in their favor. Yeah, I think the Pelicans at home. I think
Yep. I'm
they
locking
get
that
this
in.
game done.
Yep. I love that. I'm seeing on DraftKings, I'm seeing 82% coming in on Thunder's spread here. Um, I don't know what this line opened at, but yeah, I mean, I think the Thunder are going to win this series now. I mean, it's hard for the Pelicans to win without Zion. Um, but if Zion comes back, I looked at the regular season matchups too. The Pelicans have never played the Thunder with Zion and Brandon Ingram together. So if they do come back, that might be a matchup nightmare for the Thunder. So I don't really know what's wrong with Zion. I haven't really looked into it, but
He had like
that's something to
a
keep your eye on.
hamstring, I think.
Okay.
He's still out, correct?
Yeah, it says out on ESPN.
Okay.
So yeah. All right. I like that. I have 3 bets in my bet slip so far. Again, I think we're both on the Cavs Pelicans, and I do like the under in that Cavs Magic game. Um Game 3, next one up, we have Celtics Heat. Heat pulled out a win out of their ass at Boston. Um just shows that Boston's pulling their same old bullshit. Games they were a 14-point favorite, ended up losing, I think, by 10, so not even close. Boston does this every year for me. They're unanimously the best team in the NBA, and then they just struggle in the playoffs. Obviously, the Heat are. It's crazy. Like at the end of the day, like what does an NBA coach actually do? Like, do they actually matter? And then you see Spoelstra make these Heat win playoff games, and he's just a great coach, and they always have the advantage in the X's and O's. So, with that being said, I kind of think that last game was kind of an anomaly. Jimmy Butler's still out. It's a 9.5 point Boston favorite. Over unders 204. I'm probably not going to bet this game just because I hate the Celtics and I don't want to bet them, but I think the Celtics probably get it done.
Yeah, we're at eye. I don't think I'm betting the Celtics, but if the Celtics won that game, what is this? Minus, I don't know. I guess it's on the road, but 14 again. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I do see the Celtics are the public side, which does shock me. The Heat obviously made that run last year from a very similar seeding spot. They just beat the Celtics, like you said, by 10. So I kind of thought the Heat would be the public side. I wish they were. But yeah, I think the Celtics, I mean, to me, that loss at home just kind of or I guess makes the Celtics focus more and realize, like, okay, we got to take this seriously. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think the Celtics blow them out. I might
Yeah.
bet it.
I agree that with that. I just hate the Celtics, so I'm probably gonna say away. And then finally, at a chance at a sweep, Nuggets, Lakers, Nuggets up 3-0 at LA again. Nuggets are a 3.5 point favorite, 4.5 or 4 point favorite. Again, probably not going to bet this. I was on the Lakers on Thursday, I believe. Thursday or Friday, whatever day that was. They were up, blew it. I just think the Lakers are outmanned. they're not going to win this series. I think they just call it quits tonight. I'm probably going to be, well, I'm again probably not going to bet it, but I think the Nuggets are going to get it done up for the sweep.
Yeah. Again, we're pretty much seeing eye to eye. I don't think I'll bet this one either. I just said I thought I'd maybe bet the Celtics. I'm not going to. But yeah, I lean the Lakers here. The public's all over Denver. But the reason I'm not betting it is because, like you said, I think they're just kind of canned. They're not winning the series. LeBron is, however old now, he's really sticking around to play with his son. Um, I just don't think they really have the fight in them at this point. I mean, I guess it'd be nice to get one win at home, but yeah, I can't back them because I just don't know what type of effort we're gonna get from them, honestly. So I would lean the Lakers. My gut tells me the Lakers find a way to win this game, but I just can't promise that the effort's going to be there, so I'm going to stay away.
Yeah. So that's the NBA. Again, I just locked in 3 bets. Pelicans plus 1.5, Cavs plus 2.5, and the under in the Cavs Magic at 201.5. Just lock those in as we are on here. The rest of the slate, we won't go game by game because there's so many plays, maybe in the NHL, but do you want to do NHL or if you guys haven't watched or been on Twitter, Ethan's very hot in the MLB. So I am interested to if he has any MLB plays today, but do you want to do that first or jump somewhere else?
Yeah, we can go baseball. Unfortunately,
Okay.
I don't have a lot today.
Okay.
Yeah, really, my bread and butter in baseball is the start of a new series. We only have one today. It is the Mexico series, Houston and Colorado. It's just a quick 2-game series. Over under set at 16.5 in that game. Too low. It's got to be the over.
I'm taking the over there.
It's too low. I meant to look it up before we hopped on here. I didn't, but I think last year the over got like hammered. I think it was like 21, 22, 23.
I think it was like 11-13 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's too low. And the Rockies are used to playing in elevation. This is way higher elevation. The Astros are struggling this year, but they have the bats to certainly make some noise. So yeah, I like the over there. I don't know if I'll bet it. Yeah, right now I've really only bet Nerfies and sides, and I'm hitting 72% total for the year right now on MLB. So I'm gonna stick to my bread and butter. 2 plays I'll likely be on. I like the Orioles to bounce back. They lost to the Athletics yesterday, which kind of a kick myself. I looked at the Athletics plus 250, but couldn't get myself to lock it in. This is juicy. I was seeing it was minus like 170. I'm now seeing minus 195. So it's up there for sure, but I think the Orioles bounce back at home. The other play I was looking at is Tampa Bay minus 1.5. They lost to the White Sox yesterday. Sox getting their 4th win of the season. Yeah, I think Tampa bounces back in that one, and obviously you can't lay the minus whatever it is, 250 or whatever on the money line. So I might take a stab at the run line for them. And then my last play, I think I'm jumping back on the Yankees. They were my only loss yesterday. I went 4-1. Yankees lost in the 11th inning because they threw Joe Schmo on the mound for his first big league appearance, and the dude gave up contact. It was terrible. Yeah, I think the Yankees bounce back. You can get them at a solid minus 110. It's a pick'em game. So I think I'll be back on the Yankees. And then I guess just my lean. So I love taking that first the road team in their first game on the road against the home team, their first game back at home. That was kind of the strategy yesterday that worked out really well. If that road team wins game 1, I do like to look at the home team to get it done in game 2, which is my look on the Orioles here. So yeah, I think, the Tigers might be a decent play, Marlins, maybe the Red Sox, the Mets potentially. I'm not going to bet those. That's just kind of the way I feel like it goes. It's not really an angle of mine per se, but yeah, I guess if you're looking for a way to bet baseball today, I'd say the 3 I mentioned, Yankees, Rays, and Orioles. And then I guess if you want more action, I would maybe look for those home teams that lost their first game yesterday.
Yeah, I'll definitely be on that Mexico City over. Don't twist my arm when I can bet 2 touchdowns and a field goal. in an MLB game, I'm gonna do it. Um, so yeah, that over, and then yeah, I might. I don't know. I might get on those Orioles. They do me well, but um, I don't know. Those A's are pissing me off. I originally was going to take their opponent's run line every single game. The A's are almost 500, so um, just outright. I don't know what they are. I know they lost a couple games by 1 point or 1 run, so that's strategy's trash. So I'm not going to do that anymore. So I might bounce on Baltimore. They're so freaking good. Sears
Hmm.
for Oakland and Irvin for Baltimore. Yeah, I'll probably take the Orioles on the run line. But besides that, I'm probably not going to jump in the MLB. Besides that, Mexico City over.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the board. Do you have any NHL that you want to touch on? I've been just
Yeah.
taking NHL unders besides the big boys. Like if you're taking an under in a Oilers game, you're crazy. And I've taken
Right.
it every single game, and I'm dead. But unders again, NHL unders are pretty much money. But I don't have anything. I'll probably be taking a couple unders. But do you have anything that's sticking out?
Yeah. So I'm probably not going to bet the Canes Islanders game. That is our first game at 2 o'clock Eastern. I would look for the over in that game, though. The Islanders have absolutely nothing to lose. They're going to be getting pucks on net. If it's close late, they're going to pull their goalie with like 4, 5, 6 minutes left. Um, they're going to be just going all out. So I think there's going to be some breakaway chances, probably for the Hurricanes, honestly. Maybe a few for the Islanders, but yeah, I think there's a lot of shots on net, a lot of chances both ways. So I would kind of look towards the over in that game. Um, I bet the Lightning each of their first 2 games on the money line. They lost 3-2. Both of those stayed off last game, lost that one. I'm kind of tempted to jump back on the Lightning here and have them avoid the sweep at home, but I don't know if I can do it. I do like the Maple Leafs. That's probably the one game I will bet today. Maple Leafs money line minus 120 or so. I think they get it done at home. So head back to Boston with a 2-2 series tie there. I do think that series goes to 7, so that's going to be their most advantageous way to get to that 7th game. Um, and then the Stars are public as all get out, but I mean, God, it's tough to see the Stars go down 0-3. Um, but in Vegas, I mean, they certainly could. So I think the Stars win. I don't think my money's going to be on them though.
Yeah, I like the Leafs now that I'm looking at that. So I could get behind the Leafs. I like that over as well in the Hurricanes Islanders. I'm just nervous they go down like 2-0, 3-0, and then just call it quits early.
Right.
But I like that quite a bit. And then, God, those Knights, man, good for them. I didn't even realize they were up 2-0. I don't know. If the Dallas keeps being that public, I might just jump on Vegas, but I don't love that. But yeah, again, haven't made up my mind in the NHL. So if I do, I'll have a couple plays. I'll tweet them out. But as of right now, I don't have anything in the NHL. But I do like all three of your leans there. I know you have a couple other miscellaneous bets. I know I haven't looked at the board. We're gonna bet. I have 3 NBA bets. Probably have an MLB better too, and then NHL better too. But I know you possibly have some UFL leans or bets, and then do you have any PGA? I didn't even look at the PGA this week. But yeah, I got nothing else. But what do you got if you do have anything?
Yeah, PGA. I mean, it might be too late to really jump in now, but like we mentioned, we're kind of both looking to get more into the golf betting. I do have the group of Taylor and Hadwin to win outright and top 20. The outright was 25-1. Top 20 was plus 105, and they're currently sitting, I believe, 1 stroke out of the lead. Um, let me see here. I think they were tied for 5th at the end of yesterday, but um, that's going to be kind of occupying a lot of my viewing time today. Just 'cause I'm really hoping to hit that outright. Oh Jesus, yeah. There's been some movement today. They haven't teed off yet, but looks like they're now 4 shots out of the league or out of the lead. Um, but yeah, I don't know. There might be value on betting some of these groups that haven't started. Maybe McElroy and Lowry. They're minus 13. They haven't teed off yet. Um, yeah, I don't know. I've been having fun with that tournament. UFL, we have 2 games going at 7 tonight. Um, I did have a lean. Hang on, I gotta go back and find this. Let's see. Small. Oh Jesus. Why am I on? All right. Well, the lines are apparently gone on the UFL. I can only get first half lines, so um, yeah, I would maybe look at Houston, honestly, plus the points against Birmingham. Birmingham's like the clear cut number one team. Houston did just get their first win last week, so I don't know if I'll end up betting that, but that's kind of a look I have. Um, and then tomorrow, I kind of like Memphis money line against Michigan. Not sure. I have to look into that a little bit more, but trying to dabble in the UFL. Hasn't gone the greatest so far, but it is fun to have spring football going on.
Right.
Other than that, we do have an Xfinity NASCAR race today that I might dabble in. If I do, I'll tweet it out. Haven't looked too deep into that. I will dabble in UFC. I'll probably tail some of Bobby and Ben's plays, and then I tend to go rogue myself a little bit. But um, yeah, I guess the last thing, I'm trying to get into soccer a little bit. Just kind of figured there's way too much soccer going on. I mean, MLS carries out all through the summer. Obviously, we talk about when it's just baseball and not much left. So there's a lot of MLS games on today. I'm going to try to watch and follow along and see if I can somehow find a liking for the MLS, just to give myself something to follow and bet on throughout the summer. But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, that's soccer's fun. It's difficult, but it's fun. I usually just fade the big teams and do okay. But yeah, definitely could. If you want some more soccer, Aaron's pretty good at soccer. Ethan's brother, so make sure you do check him out as well. He posts a couple of his plays at bettergreen.com. But yeah, that's all I got. Again, I'll tweet out my plays right after I get off this. Again, I have 3 locked in. Probably will have 3 more plays throughout the day. Again, if you want MMA, UFC bets, make sure you go over to bettergreen.com. We also have a YouTube video out, tapping Vegas for MMA tonight. Yeah, and then just make sure you stay tuned to our Twitters. We post our plays every single day over there, as well as our premium plays over at bettergreen.com. Make sure you also follow us on Sharps. You can use code BET269, BETT269. It's a bet tracking app. We post all of our official plays over there, so make sure you check us out on there as well. But yeah, excited for this Saturday. I'm actually on my way to do some yard work right after we get off here. It's a little humid today, a high of 77 though, so pretty warm day in Grand Rapids, Michigan. But yeah, I'm excited for these plays. Make sure you do stay tuned for a couple more extravagant episodes. We have our Kentucky Derby, I believe, next week is coming out. I believe that's like May, first week of May. That's the Kentucky Derby. So we'll have that. And always, we have NHL, NBA, golf. We might have a couple of golf episodes out. So yeah, just stay tuned and make sure you do follow us. We appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, share, and help us grow. It helps us continue to do this. And as always, good luck on your bets. NFL draft. Hopefully your teams get your teams get your players today. And yeah, honestly, I got the itch back in the NFL. It only went off like a month or two, and now I'm ready for the NFL season to start. So we are trying to get to 1,000 subs come end of August. So make sure you do tell your friends about us. We appreciate it. But that's all I got. Do you have anything else before we close out here?
Yeah, sounds like we're down a sub after going live today. So someone fill that void for us. We need you. Got a hole in our sub count, but yeah, good luck in the draft to your team. Good luck with all your bets. Just can't reiterate enough to follow Wyatt and I both on Twitter if you do want to follow along. We're very up to date with our plays, and tweet them out all for free. So head over there, follow us. Yeah, reiterate everything Wyatt said. Check out YouTube and bettergreen.com, and we'll see you in the next episode.